Okay, I just finished Fearless and I think I need a minute. The final book in the Powerless trilogy is officially here and I'm overflowing with feelings. And to be honest, not all of them are good. My heart is a little broken and we need to talk whether it was for the right reasons or not. This book was an emotional gut punch from the first page to the last, and I've been sitting here, staring at the wall, trying to make sense of that ending. So if you've also been clinging on for dear life during the emotional roller coaster that is this trilogy and you need to rant, process, or just scream into the void about the political games, the character choices, and that ending, then you are exactly in the right place, my friend. We're breaking it all down. And hey, if this is your kind of deep dive, no hold barred book review, think about subscribing. I promise we'll get through this book hangover together. Now I've made a previous videos about Powerless and Reckless, so the link is in the description below, and since you know Fearful, the final novella of this trilogy is coming up, that is also given in the link in the description below. Now for a very important heads up, I'm splitting this video into a spoiler-free section and a spoiler-filled section. I will give you a massive blaring warning before the spoiler drop, but trust me, you do not want the major twists in the book ruined for you. Section 1. Spoiler-free summary and thoughts. Right, anyone who's new to the series or just needs a quick refresher, the Powerless trilogy takes place in the kingdom of Elia. It's a society brutally split between the elites who have magical powers and the ordinaries who don't. Our hero is Peyton Gray, an ordinary girl who has spent her life pretending to be an elite just to survive. But her world gets turned upside down when she saves Prince Kai Azar, who of course is the kingdom of Elia, the guy whose job is to hunt down and kill ordinaries. This one act catapults her into the Purging Trials, which is a savage competition designed to show off elite power, a ripoff of Hunger Games. Over the first two books, Powerless and Reckless, we see Peyton trying to survive these deadly games while battling her intense, forbidden feelings for Kai. This series is famous for its witty banter, high-stake tension, and slow-burn romance that has the entire BookTok community in a chokehold. Coming into Fearless, the hype was off-chart. We were promised a finale to this epic love story, a resolution to the simmering rebellion, and answers about what would happen to Ilya. Lauren Roberts definitely deserves a very thick book, which at first feels like a gift. This gives us so much more time with these characters we've come to obsess over. The writing is just as emotional and focused on the characters' inner turmoil as ever. Roberts is obviously a master at writing the heart-wrenching angst and longing. The prose is beautiful, and some of the dialogue, especially between Peyton and Kai, is just as swoon-worthy as you'd hope. However, the pacing of this final book is a journey. It kicks off with a bang, but then there are long stretches where it feels like the story is dragging its feet, only to be followed by a rapid-fire series of massive reveals at once. It felt at times like the author has a dozen of different ideas for creating drama and just decided to use every single one, which makes the plot feel bloated. But without giving anything away, my spoiler-free verdict is Fearless is an ambitious, emotionally explosive, and often beautifully written conclusion that will absolutely make you feel things. The real question is whether those feelings will be satisfaction or pure frustrations. Because I know that a lot of people will disagree on this. So, okay, this is your absolute final warning. We are now diving headfirst into spoiler territory. If you have not read Fearless by Lauren Roberts, I am begging you, go ahead, read it, then come back, because we need to talk seriously. Section 2. The Dive Deep, or Spoilers. Let's get into the central conflict that kicks this book off. The marriage proposal. Peyton, fresh off killing the king and being in love with his son Kai, is cracked before the new king, Kit. She's expecting a death sentence. Instead, he proposes marriage as a political power play to unite the elites and ordinaries. On paper, this is brilliant, messy, and a tense setup. Kai and Peyton have just confessed their love, and now they're forced to watch each other from across the throne room while she's engaged to his brother. The angst is dialed up to 11, but this is where I hit the major snag. The execution of this love triangle feels repetitive. Peyton and Kai get tapped in endless cycles of secret stealing moments and almost getting caught, then pretending it never happened. Felt nice for the first few chapters, but quickly started to feel less like character development and more like a plot device stuck on loop. The tension that was so electric in the first two books started to fade because the stakes of their secret meetings didn't feel just high anymore. However, did we like it? Absolutely. Did we all eat it up like nicotine? Obviously. Were the moments just as sweet as chocolate? Obviously. Now, let's get into the character arcs, specifically Kit's. In the first two books, he was the sweet, almost naive older brother. In Fearless, he's grieving prince who transforms into a sharp political player, which is fascinating change. He's not a simple villain though. He's complex, wrestling his father's death, the weight of the crown, and his own complicated feelings for Peyton. But then the story takes a sharp left turn. We find that Kit's descent into cruelty is partly because he took dose of the plague, which is messing with his mind, but also that he's been secretly plotting for power. The twist for me felt like a betrayal of his character. Retroactively soured the genuine friendship he and Peyton seemed to build, making him feel less like a complex person and more like a convenient obstacle. And speaking of obstacles being removed, let's talk about that ending. The final showdown between the brothers is tragic. During a confrontation, Kai accidentally kills Kit. Kit's death is framed as a moment of redemption, the final sacrifice when he tells Kai to love Peyton for him, but it felt cheap. It was a way to solve the love triangle is the most brutally convenient way possible, avoiding the hard work of actually resolving emotional and political fallout of the engagement. So Kit's death felt less like a meaningful end to his arc and more like a plot device to clear the way for Kai and Peyton's happily ever after. And the plot twists don't stop there. The big reveal that Peyton's real father is Calcum, the king's advisor, was a huge moment that reframes her identity. But then it gets even more tangled with the revelation that makes Kit her half-brother. Ew! It felt like a twist after twist but being layered on and making the plot messy and convoluted. Some of these reveals resolved so quickly they barely had time to land, leaving us with a whiplash. Section 3. What worked versus what didn't. So, let's try to find some balance. What really worked? The emotional heart of the story, the connection between Peyton and Kai is still incredibly powerful. When they are on the page together, the chemistry is undeniable. Lauren Roberts can write dialogue that makes you want to highlight entire pages. One quote like, "I could lie, say that you've stolen every thought and heartbeat like the thief you are, but all of me was already yours," is pure gold. The book is a masterclass in weaving fast-paced, high-stakes action with these quite intimate character movements. The trials Peyton has to go through are genuinely thrilling and keep you on the edge of your seat. But for me, what didn't work outweighed the good. The plot became so tangled with twists that it lost its emotional grounding. Turning Kit into an almost cartoonish villain felt like a huge disservice to his character and build-up of two books. The resolution felt rushed. After all the political maneuvering and angst, Kit's death just wiped the slate clean in a way that doesn't feel earned. And relying on flashbacks and journal entries from Dead King to explain major plot points often feel like a sign of shaky plotting. Ultimately, the ending does give us satisfaction of seeing Peyton and Kai together with a child and a kingdom to heal. It's the happy ending we were technically waiting for, but the road to get there was paved with character assassination and plot conveniences that left me feeling more hollow than happy. It was an emotional gut punch, alright, but it felt like it was aimed at all the wrong places. I am so genuinely conflicted about this book and I am dying to hear what you all thought. This is your moment to go off in the comments and tell me what you thought of the ending. Did you find it satisfying? Did all the twists work for you? What Kit done dirty? Let's talk about it because I have a feeling opinions on this one are going to be all over the map. However, check out the video I have on Fearless theories or what happens in Fearful, and see you in the next video. Bye!